Okay, hi IWF. We're here with Linda Abraham today. Linda, go ahead and tell us about yourself. I know you're not originally from Miami, so tell us about your professional path and how you got to, well, the South Florida area, let's say.
Thanks, Melanie. Thanks for taking the time to do this. So yeah, I'm relatively new to Florida. I've been here a couple of years, part of the tech migration from California, if you will. I was in Northern California for about 5 years, and prior to that, lived just outside the DC area in Northern Virginia for about 20 years, where I spent the bulk of my career. And professionally, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm co-founder of two technology companies. And once I left the second one, I decided to start doing angel investing and early stage technology company investing. And I've been doing that for about the last 7 or 8 years. So I do a lot of board work, advisory work, sit on boards of public companies, private companies, and basically my passion is really about trying to help companies grow and scale and solve problems and think strategically about how they can succeed. And so for me, every day is different. I work with a variety of different companies and, try to focus on a variety of different problems. So that's a little bit about me.
Well, tell us a little bit more about your angel investing. Do you do it through an entity? What kind of companies are you interested in?
Sure. I don't. It's just Crimson Capital is just my husband's in my fund. We don't take any outside money, but we just given the ecosystem that I came from, a lot of the deals have sort of found me, as opposed to me kind of going out and looking for certain kinds of deals. But my background is in data science, analytics, kind of data related products, and so a lot of the companies that I invest in have a layer of that, some kind of a data layer, but they span industries, everything from educational technology to AR, VR to clean tech to healthcare. From the outside in, it doesn't look like there's any rhyme or reason to it, but the common thread is usually there's some sort of interesting and very powerful data layer. And now, of course, with all of the AI stuff, that relates to pretty much just about any company. So
Yeah, excellent. So, professionally, you're essentially focused on angel investing and all that involves. What do you do in the community besides aside from your professional work?
well, I like to golf. I like to ski. I like to play pickleball. So certainly those are some fun activities. Since I have been here in Florida, I've started to get involved in the efforts around women's protecting reproductive rights, and have started to spend some significant time and effort around that issue. That's very, very important to me. So I've been starting to spend some time on that and anticipate that will increasingly grow in the future. But I also do a lot of mentoring, I work with a lot of young people, particularly young women, and try to help them be better, CEOs and entrepreneurs and data scientists. I'm also on the board of the School of Data Science at the University of Virginia, and have been doing that for probably about 9 years now, and really proud of the efforts that we've made there in terms of making that program really terrific, and also broadening access to people who wouldn't otherwise have access to data science careers.
Great. Well, speaking of mentoring younger women, what advice do you give to the young women you're mentoring, and is that different than advice you would give to your younger self?
Well, that's a good question. So one piece of advice I find myself giving a lot in response to some of the challenges that younger people are having, and particularly young working mothers, is you can't figure it out all at once. Don't try to optimize for too many things too far down the road. I use the analogy of a a ski slope when you're at the top of a mountain, a double black diamond, and you're looking down and it's super intimidating. There's tons of moguls and you really don't have any idea how you're going to get down it. The most important thing is just to pick one and start. Just pick one and get there, then pick another one and then get there. And then by the time you're 3, 4, 5 moguls into the mountain, you're looking at the whole situation from a very different vantage point, and solutions sometimes become visible that were not visible from the top of the mountain. And I think that's particularly true for working mothers who are trying to manage their career. There tend to be a lot of binary discussion. Should I work full-time or not? Do I? And I think that I think there are a lot of creative solutions out there around how to blend motherhood and career, and I'm certainly a living example of that. So I think trying to just solve for what's in front of you, what the most immediate needs are of your business and the most immediate needs of your family, and trust that at a future point in time, other solutions will make themselves known and you can act on that. So try not to boil the ocean, I guess, because that can cause paralysis. It's kind of a long answer, but.
No, good answer and great advice. Would you have given yourself the same advice or different advice?
I would actually. I would. I think that when I was younger, I kept trying to sort of figure out what the solution was, and I found out that the answer to that was very fluid. And if I had really focused on that earlier, I would have relaxed a lot more about and trusted that some of the decisions and career choices that I made would ultimately be okay. They take care of itself. I would have stressed a lot less, I think.
Yeah, that's good advice to everyone. Well, I know you were a member of the Northern California IWF and now a newer member with us in Florida. Tell us what part about IWF you like the most.
Well, IWF has been great for me in terms of meeting new people, particularly outside of my, my wheelhouse, if you will. I think that both in Northern California and here, there's just such a rich collection of women doing things in so many different areas that I would never have an opportunity to meet. I know a lot of cool women in tech, but not so much in the arts or in real estate or in financial services or any number of areas that I've met people in. So it's really been great for me. It's really I built some really nice new friendships and still have those friendships in both places. So really happy to be a part of it.
Well, the people are the best. Tell us we're just gonna have some fun questions. Tell us a fact about you we could not find on the internet.
Well, one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is I am, according to 23andMe, I am like 99.6% Irish.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of unusual. I mean, there's tons of Irish people around, but there really are not that many that have that high of a, genetic percentage being Irish. So that's something that's little known, and I'm proud of that, actually.
Did you know that you were a very strong Irish before you took the genetic testing?
Well, I knew that both sides of my family ultimately led back to Ireland, but I had no idea. I mean, there's millions of people in the US who make that claim, and then they find out that they had a lot of European heritage or other kinds of heritage, and 23andMe was very much of a surprise for them. For me, I was sort of surprised in the opposite direction, that no, I really am almost 100% Irish, and that's kind of unusual. It's unusual for any American to be almost 100% of anything, I think. So that's that was a surprise.
Very true. We talked about this a little bit the other night, but tell us what book or podcast you're recommending now.
Well, I know that you and I both like the book Outlive, which is really fantastic. So I feel like I'm cheating if I mention that one. So let me of another one. I will put out something very odd that I'm pretty sure most people probably haven't read, which is a book about Genghis Khan and the making of the modern world. It's a book about the Mongolian era, basically, and that was something that I just knew nothing about before I read it, and was really amazed. In addition to the essentially terrorist kind of guy that he was. He was also very amazing in terms of founding principles like democracy and public schools. He started the first public school, and there wasn't another one for another 500 years. So he had these very advanced ideas about societies and how he would conquer people, and instead of enslaving them, he would actually study their culture and bring the best of their ideas into his society. So again, not what I expected to learn about him. He did a lot of horrible things, but I just learned about how that whole part of the world developed, and it was all new to me. So really a good book.
What's it called? Is it called
Genghis Khan and the Making of the Modern World.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Good suggestion. That's one I haven't heard yet. Last fun question. If you were in charge of the playlist, what song would be playing next?
Well, I just went to my son's wedding, and I've decided one of my favorite songs is by Kygo. Kygo was the DJ that was at the wedding, and it's a song called Firestone, and we light up the world, that song. So it's something that makes you want to dance, but also has a great message.
Nice, great. Well, thanks for doing this, Linda. It was great having this chat.
Great, thanks for taking the time, Melanie. We'll see you soon.